Today, on this 41st commemoration of the Day of Remembrance, we remember our immigrant parents, the Issei's, who left their homeland to forge a new life in a nation that provided a vision for a better future. They worked and sacrificed so that their vision could become a reality for their children, the Nisei generation, my generation. The war and the incarceration almost shattered this vision, but did not extinguish it. I was a child of 9 when I was sent with my mother and my 3 siblings to Minidoka internment camp in Idaho, and was imprisoned there until I was an adolescent of 13. The first Christmas we were in Minidoka, which is you're away from home and you miss everything about home, and home just takes on a special place in the imagination of a child that's taken away from home. Anyway, this package came to us, and it turned out to be a Christmas gift from a family friend from Juneau, from back home. And then there was this beautiful blue dress. And then I was able to wear it for that class picture. And I know from the smile on my face, I was so proud to wear that blue dress. And it was not only for that, but because it was a reminder that, friends at home hadn't forgotten us and that we still had a connection to home. When the call came out for volunteers to join, to become part of the 442nd Infantry Unit, my brother, who had just graduated from high school, wanted very badly to enlist. The idea of something happening to my oldest brother was more than my mother could bear, and she pleaded with him not to enlist. And in this photo, it shows him coming back to Minidoka on a furlough. My mother still was very concerned that something was going to happen to him and he wouldn't return. And just prior to the war, I had a brother in my family that we had lost. And so these tragedies of losing family members was still very much fresh in her mind. Even though I was very young at this time, I was aware of the mental stresses on families. A tragedy stays in my mind of the mother of a family in our block becoming so depressed that she never ventured out of her barrack room. Her family would bring meals to her, and we never saw her. In the next barrack was a mother of the family, and she disappeared. She disappeared from our block, and the family must have been aware of the stress that she was under. And our block was very close to the edge of the perimeter of the camp, and I can remember all of us running down from the block, running to the edge of the camp, going through the barbed wires, and going a little further down. We're all running to the Snake River. The Snake River was right outside of that part of the camp, and sure enough, what she had done was she had weighed down her body with stones, and had waded into the water and drowned herself. And I can remember that and feeling that how the stress that some people were under. And then kind of connecting with my mother, wondering what kind of a stress she was under, or would she do something like that at some point. For the majority of this period, my father was separated from us, a prisoner in an all-male Justice Department camp in New Mexico. This was not too different from families currently separated at the southern border by our government. Children taken from their parents to punish families who were seeking asylum and a safe life. When I think of them, I remember the yearning I had for my father in those uncertain times, and so I can identify with the pain and confusion of these children. It is disheartening to know that nothing was learned from our history, and again, an ethnic group was targeted. We are at a time when our nation is slowly coming to terms with its history of racial tension and discrimination that is tearing the fabric of our country. The police brutality that culminated in the killing of George Floyd brought to the forefront of our nation's consciousness the necessity for each of us to own the injustice to our Black brothers and sisters. As we come together for this Day of Remembrance, we, the Japanese American community, with our own history, are given the opportunity to speak up loud and clear. I am heartened to see many in the Yansei generation, children of the Sanseis, participating in the Black Lives Matter movement, and also giving support to the effort of Tsuru for solidarity and protesting the immigration policies of family separation by the Trump administration. In 2018, the San Jose Nikkei resistors held a vigil in front of the Issei Memorial Building here in Japantown to protest the separation of families and placement of children at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. This family trauma stirred up my memories as a child in Minidoka. As I spoke out in protest at this vigil, it is a reminder that all of us can stand up and give voice to speaking out against injustice. Every voice counts and can make a difference.